Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. Name's Matthew Dessa, and I'm going to be discussing the general workflow. I started with creating her head as usual. When it comes to bust characters, I always just start with the head, and I don't move into the neck and the body and things like that until much later. It helps me focus solely on features and things like that. I did things a little out of order on this one. Normally, after getting the eyeballs and eyelids and things like that in, I would push into giving her a neck and her shoulders and things like that. I guess I really wanted to make sure this character looked good before moving on, because I knew I was going to add accessories like clothing, jewelry, stuff like that. So I just wanted to make sure that I would get the face done before I got distracted by all the other little things. Yeah, as you can see, I fought with this neck. I don't know what it is. These necks, they're killing me. They really are. They really shouldn't be, but they are. Yeah, these ears. The ears were the fastest thing to make. They're really simple. They actually represent how I normally draw regular people ears. I remember watching a drawing tutorial from Butch Hartman, I think it was, as he was drawing Cosmo from the Very Odd Parents. How he draws their ears is a little, half circle with a 6 inside. That's the best way I remembered it, was he put a little 6 within the ear, just to symbolize the ear, just to make it simple. And that's how pretty much I made her ear. Just tweaking the face a little bit more, trying to get it down to more petite features, not so round. For this one, I actually ended up using reference. For the last character, I didn't, just because I was doing a completely exploratory sculpt. I didn't want anything to distract me from using the tools or figuring out the tools or anything like that, or stressing myself out over trying to make the character look a certain way. Whereas with this character, I wanted it to be, Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I decided to go with her Season 3 outfit and hairstyle just because I really liked the look that they gave her. I decided to thin her face a little bit more. I think I ended up pushing it a little too far and made her a little too thin in the face, which kind of pushed it away from looking like Katara. I mean, it still looks like her, but not nearly as much as I would have wanted it to. Yeah, this is where I swapped out the eyeballs because I was tired of looking at those flat spheres. It was driving me crazy. And here is where I realized, oh, the eyes are a little far out. She was looking a little too bug-eyed. So I pushed them back. Which, the unfortunate thing of doing that is the character's eyes, especially in a show like this, are very large and expressive. But when I pushed them further back into her skull, it actually made the eyeballs smaller. So I think that again pushed it away from looking like Katara. Now I created the eyelashes. I think I should have gone into Blender to make these, but I don't know why, but I'm on this kick where I need to do all my sculpting, all my accessories and stuff like that within ZBrush. I mean, it's not a bad thing to want to create everything within ZBrush, but yeah, see, stuff like that. I actually figured out how to get around this later on, because I realized with the trim tool, it doesn't actually cut and remove the geometry. What it does is it just flattens it to the cutoff line. This hair, I looked at the reference and I didn't really like the fact that the hair was just like these weird little tubes hanging off the end of the jewelry section, the cinches. They were like tubes in the reference, but I wanted to give them a little bit more character, so I created this little, curl at the bottom there. Yeah, this hair. This hair was probably another area where I wasn't exactly happy with it. I wanted to create more things, hanging off of it, because again, looking at her reference, the hair was a little bit more wild. It wasn't as tame or tightened up, I want to say. There was a lot more strands hanging off of it. Something in my brain made me want to rush this character. I don't know why. I wanted to see how fast I could get it done. And for what I did, I actually got it done pretty quick. This sculpt only took me about 2 hours to do. I'm not exactly happy with this one. I'm not disappointed with it, but I'm not entirely pleased with it either. I realized I could have done a little bit more with it. Creating those armbands, I don't know why I went through and did that, but I did. I had those rings, but I decided to make my own rings out of a cylinder. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But yeah, this is me going around creating her little chest piece. What I found is what works best for creating clothing and things like that is to extract the section and then use the Z remesher tool to completely crash all of the pixels down, or the points down, to a very small amount, and then tweak it from there. And then you can throw a bunch of subdivisions onto it and sculpt it from there. It keeps it nice and clean, nice and straight and sharp looking. This hair, I used the same method that I used for my last character. I probably should have. It was a good method, but for this style of hair, I probably should have done something a little differently. Another thing is I decided to add color. I've never been one to add color to sculpts. I mean, I've done it before, but the reason I don't normally do it is because it seems to take away from the art of sculpting. I know most people enjoy it, or enjoy watching it. For sure, I do too. I enjoy seeing a fully colored and rendered 3D model, but for the most part with this character, I didn't think it was proper for her to not be colored. As you can see, she turned out pretty good. I enjoyed making her. And if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and a comment in the comment section below.